What is up, YouTube? Dark God back again. Day 2 of the October Horror Movie Challenge on DVDTalk.com, as well as on Letterboxd as Hooptober. Getting right into it. I didn't watch 7 films like yesterday. I only watched 5, but there's a couple stinkers in there, which they came out like worse than Bethany, make Bethany look like Halloween. So hopefully this is the worst filming day. Hopefully it gets better from here on. We'll see. First film I watched, Four Skulls of Jonathan Drake. Interesting film. Kind of has a little mythos to it, and cool thing is it gets into the whole voodoo aspect of trying to live forever. This is one of my first like voodoo films, obviously this challenge, but I'm not really big into the voodoo. Like when it gets into zombies and stuff, I never liked like I Walk with a Zombie or White Zombie. I never got into a whole like voodoo zombie version of it, but this is cool because it's like a little different. It's more or less like trying to live immortal, trying to live forever. It's not as I don't like it as much as like as other movies of the era. Like I don't like it as much as Yesterday's The Bat. I don't like it as much as like just anything of that time period. But it does have cool moments, and it's all the gore happens off screen, but there's a lot of like implied gore, like people getting their heads cut off and everything. You get shrunken heads in it, and you get this big mute like gigantic servant of the bad guy who's just his mouth sewed shut. It's very cool graphics for the 50s, and it's not a bad film. I give it 5.5 out of 10. Sadly, it's like probably right in the middle of what I watched today. It's one of the better films. It just has moments where just everything kind of works for it. It's a very good film. You get a couple of genre people and they're just like bouncing around and stuff. You see them real quick. A couple different actors from that time frame, the 50s horror movies. Second film I watched, and this is where the stinkers start. Sasquatch, The Legend of Bigfoot from 1976. It's made like a pseudo documentary. Legit, the movie's an hour and a half long. You don't have to watch the first hour and 25 minutes. Everything happens in the last 5 minutes, and when it happens, still nothing happens because at the end they just explained it all away. It is one of the most boring movies I've ever seen in my life. It's supposed to be this like I don't know, like I said, it's supposed to be a documentary of them going into the wild to find Sasquatch, and they have all these scientists and everything, and they're explaining it, and you legit get scenes where they're just breaking down who's in the party, what they did before this, what their job responsibilities are on the trip, and it goes on and on about this, and then it shows them walking through the woods. Every once in a while, you gets spliced in with footage of wildlife fighting or running or doing whatever they want, bears attacking each other. It just is boring. It is an hour and a half of time that I do not get back, that I lost, that stinks. It's a 2 out of 10, and it's one of the worst films I've ever seen. It's that boring. I won't give it a 1 out of 10 because, I mean, at least it did have, it's about Bigfoot. And for some reason, it might be my, like, I don't know. It might be like my hidden desire for films, but for some reason, Sasquatch and Bigfoot films I just love for some reason. But it's the worst Bigfoot film I've ever seen. It's so boring. Third film, and by far away the best film, probably, definitely of today, probably beats anything I watched yesterday. I seen it once when Monsters HD was still around, and I never really got into it. And it's weird because this is Clive Barker's like when I was a little kid, I saw Hellraiser. I didn't like Hellraiser the first time I saw it. I thought it was so boring because I didn't get a lot of the stuff. And I think that's the thing with Barker is the first time you watch Barker, he throws a lot of stuff at you that you might not catch. So I remember watching this probably about 15 years ago on Monsters HD, and I was like, this isn't that good. I saw it again. I loved it. Like I said, one of the best films I watched so far. That's Lair of the White Worm. It's got a whole cool like mythos, almost like a kind of Lovecraftian feel, where this like snake god deity is like still around and people still worship it and everything. And everything's just so cool about it. Like it just, first of all, you get Peter Capaldi, Doctor Who, in it as like a secondary character. Was a cool twist ending and everything. You just get a lot of just cool scenes. There's good gore in it. The creature, the practical effects are done real good. Like the avatars of it. The end creature is done pretty well. Which after you watch, if you read it on IMDb, it's pretty cool how they actually designed it, what they came up with, which was pretty smart. But again, Clive Barker just having a movie where at first I don't like it, go back to watch it the second time and I love it. So 6.5 out of 10. Very good movie. Third was the film of the day for DVD Talk, and it covered what was the themes, which was weddings, and that's the Spanish film, third in the series. It's Rec 3 Genesis, and I love the Rec series. I think they were I think they're awesome. Like the first one was such like I remember seeing it on upcominghorrormovies.com and just like wanting to see it, and it took forever. And this was like the early days of torrents and ways to get movies. So like you had to like wait for it to like drop and everything. So when it finally did, it was just like kind of like this like kick to like the genre and everything. It was one of those films that like everybody was waiting for, and it came and it actually delivered. I know it was found footage, and a lot of people were turned off by that. By the third one, they're out of the found footage stuff. It's not as like crazy. You get more straightforward story. The ending is a little punch in the gut, but it's a good ending. It's a 6 out of 10 for me. Very gory, very awesome. People getting their arms cut off, chainsaws, people getting cut in half. I mean, the gore just flies in this film. It's really good. I highly recommend it. It's gorier than the first two. I don't think it's as good as the first two, but it's more of a traditional horror movie. Like, you could see this movie and not see the other ones, and this one's fine. Like nothing's gonna be ruined or changed, or you'd be fine watching it with that experience. Fifth, final film I watched. I seen these movies as a kid. Seen all the VHS going across the screen. I mean, across the rental store, across the back wall. And I always said, man, those movies look like they're going to be crazy. They're going to be good. That's Witchcraft. You always see them. It's the same cover, different girls on the cover. There's like 12 or 13 of them. I think there's like 16 of them now. I've never seen any of them. Now I know why I never saw any of them, because I watched the first one, and it's trash. It's a solid 3 out of 10. It's just so badly done. It's a cool story. That's the thing. It's a cool story. But if it was done by more competent people, it'd probably be a really good movie. But it's just trash. It just, every part of it, you just turn around and bad acting, bad directing. The effects aren't even that good. You get a head cut off, which is kind of cool. The one guy gets leprosy or some disease or something. That's kind of cool. But it just, all in all, it just, everything else just misses. You see the twist coming 100 miles away, but it's still, it could have been so much better than it was, and it's a shame because, like I said, the storyline's awesome. I think not awesome. It's a good storyline, but it's just more complicated. And now I'm scared, like, me being a completionist. Now I'm gonna watch all those other movies to see how it could go downhill from here, because there's no way it could go uphill. Like, it really can't. Like, from when people say, like, some of these movies are just so horribly bad. So it'll be interesting to see. Maybe in the future of this challenge, maybe I'll finish my checklist and have some free spots where I want to squeeze a movie in or something. I'll throw Witchcraft 2 or Witchcraft 12 on. I doubt it matters if I watch it in order. I doubt it has any continuity through it. I'm sure it's been done by, like, if there's 16 films, I'm sure 16 different crews have worked on it, which no probably connection to any of the previous films. So if they don't care, I shouldn't care, right? Till then, I'll catch you on the flip side.